What if I told you one company redefined open-world gaming, again and again? From the streets of Liberty City to the hallways of Bulworth Academy, Rockstar Games didn't just make games, they created worlds that pushed boundaries and sparked controversy. This isn't just a countdown. This is a journey through every Rockstar title, in order of release, uncovering how each game shaped the legacy of one of gaming's most fearless studios. So buckle up, because it's time to explore the evolution of Rockstar Games, one iconic title at a time. It all began here. Grand Theft Auto, released in 1997, was raw, chaotic, and unlike anything gamers had seen before. Set across three fictional cities, Liberty City, San Andreas, and Vice City, it wasn't about polished graphics or deep character arcs. It was about freedom. It was about causing mayhem in a living, breathing city where rules could be broken, and chaos was your playground. The top-down view, the pixelated pedestrians, the radio chatter, and those wild missions gave players something new, a criminal sandbox. You weren't just completing levels, you were living out a fantasy of reckless crime sprees, carjackings, and running from the law. What made GTA special wasn't its visuals or mechanics, it was its attitude. It had a rebellious spirit, daring to cross lines other games wouldn't touch. The controversy, the media outrage, and the bans only added to its mystique. Looking back, it may feel primitive, but in 1997, Grand Theft Auto was a revolution. It laid the foundation for what would become one of the most iconic franchises in gaming history. This was the spark that lit the fire. After the chaos of the original Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar wasn't done yet. In 1999, they took players across the pond with GTA, London 1969, the very first expansion in the series, and a bold one at that. This wasn't just a new map, it was a whole new vibe. Set in swinging 60s London, the game ditched the American grit for British cool. Picture bowler hats, vintage minis, foggy streets, and thick Cockney accents. It was stylish, quirky, and absolutely oozing with personality. And while the top-down gameplay remained the same, the cultural shift made it feel completely fresh. Missions had you working with gangsters, spies, and shady underworld figures in a setting dripping with charm and attitude. It leaned into the cliches in all the best ways, embracing British culture with a satirical twist, just like the original did with America. GTA, London 1969 may not be the most remembered entry, but it proved Rockstar's world-building potential early on. They could take a familiar formula, reskin it with culture and character, and make it feel brand new. It wasn't just another mission pack, it was Rockstar's first taste of international crime. Released in 1999, Grand Theft Auto 2 pushed the chaos of its predecessor to new levels, while laying the groundwork for what the franchise would soon become. Set in a strange, retro-futuristic city simply called Anywhere, USA, this sequel wasn't just about crime, it was about climbing the criminal food chain in style. What made GTA 2 unique was its faction system. Players could choose which gangs to work for: Zaibatsu, Yakuza, Lunas, and more, each with their own missions, personalities, and turf wars. But here's the twist. Pleasing one gang often meant taking off another. It brought strategy into the madness, forcing players to think before pulling the trigger. The top-down view was still there, but the visuals were sharper, the AI smarter, and the city more alive. You had payphones for missions, power-ups, and even a respect meter. And let's not forget the iconic narrator from the intro, "Respect is everything." Though it didn't get the spotlight that later titles did, GTA 2 was Rockstar's way of experimenting with depth and complexity. It was bigger, smarter, and more ambitious. A bridge between the 2D chaos of old and the 3D revolution that was about to change gaming forever. Grand Theft Auto 3 wasn't just a game, it was a cultural reset. Released in 2001, it took the series from its 2D roots and catapulted it into a fully 3D open world. For the first time, players weren't just looking down at a pixelated map, they were walking the streets of Liberty City, living the life of a silent outlaw named Claude. This was the moment Rockstar changed everything. GTA 3 introduced a living, breathing city with pedestrians, traffic systems, radio stations, and a dark, cinematic storyline. It wasn't just about stealing cars anymore, it was about immersing yourself in a criminal underworld full of betrayals, mob bosses, and explosive action. The freedom was revolutionary. You could follow the story, or completely ignore it, cause chaos, explore, discover secrets, or just cruise through the city listening to Chatterbox FM. It was gritty, mature, and unapologetically violent, and the world took notice. Critics praised it. Parents panicked. Politicians protested. But one thing was clear, gaming would never be the same again. GTA 3 didn't just start a new chapter for Rockstar, it set the standard for open-world games for decades to come. If GTA 3 was the revolution, Vice City was the style. Released in 2002, Rockstar turned up the volume, the colors, and the attitude. Set in a sun-soaked 1980s Miami-inspired city, Vice City wasn't just a game, it was a full-blown time machine blasting neon lights, synth music, and Scarface-level drama straight into your living room. You played as Tommy Vercetti, voiced by the legendary Ray Liotta, a mobster fresh out of prison, climbing criminal food chain. For the first time, GTA had a fully developed protagonist, and he had charisma, ambition, and a bad temper. From buying properties to building a drug empire, Vice City gave players more control than ever. And the world? It was electric. From the beachfront to the biker bars, the strip clubs to the speedboats, every inch of Vice City pulsed with energy and attitude. Alone, packed with hits from Michael Jackson, Blondie, and more, was worth the price of entry. Vice City wasn't just about crime. It was about living the fantasy. Fast cars, fast cash, faster chaos. Rockstar proved they weren't just making games, they were creating worlds you wanted to live in. In 2003, Rockstar took a bold and brutal turn with Manhunt, one of the most controversial games ever made. Forget flashy cars and big cities. This was raw, violent, and deeply psychological. You played as James Earl Cash, a death row inmate forced to participate in a twisted, underground snuff film run by a sadistic director. Set in the dark, decaying city of Carcer, the game was all about stealth, fear, and survival. With only your wits and whatever weapon you could find, you had to creep through shadows, silently take down enemies, and follow the director's disturbing orders. The executions were graphic and intense, pushing boundaries like never before. But Manhunt wasn't mindless violence. It was a gritty commentary on media, voyeurism, and society's obsession with brutality. The atmosphere was suffocating. The audio design, haunting. Every moment felt like a fight for your sanity as much as your life. Critics were divided, governments were outraged, but Rockstar stood firm. Manhunt proved they weren't afraid to tell dark, daring stories, and it left a mark that's still talked about today. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas didn't just raise the bar, it broke it. Released in 2004, this game was Rockstar's most ambitious project yet. Set in the massive state of San Andreas, featuring 3 full cities, Los Santos, San Fierro, and Las Venturas, it gave players a sprawling playground inspired by Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. You played as Carl C.J. Johnson, a young man returning home to bury his mother and rebuild his family's gang. What followed was an epic journey of loyalty, betrayal, and survival in a world riddled with crooked cops, rival gangs, and powerful drug lords. CJ wasn't just a gangster, he was a symbol of struggle, growth, and redemption. What truly made San Andreas iconic was its scale and depth. You could customize CJ's appearance, hit the gym, eat at fast food joints, learn martial arts, mod cars, gamble in casinos, even swim for the first time in GTA history. It was more than a game, it was a lifestyle simulator. And then there was the soundtrack, the humor, the side missions, the jetpacks, it never ended. San Andreas gave players the power to do whatever they wanted, however they wanted. It became a cultural phenomenon and, for many, the greatest GTA of all time. In 2005, Rockstar returned to Liberty City with Liberty City Stories, a prequel that took players back to the early 2000s, the turbulent years before GTA 3. Designed initially for the PSP, this game brought the classic GTA formula into portable form without sacrificing depth or detail. You stepped into the shoes of Tony Cipriani, a loyal mobster working his way up the Leone crime family ranks. The story is packed with gang wars, power struggles, and violent betrayals, a raw glimpse into Liberty City's gritty underbelly. Liberty City Stories maintained the iconic open-world gameplay but added improvements like better vehicle physics and a new save system. The city felt alive with its radio stations, side missions, and bustling streets. While it didn't reinvent the wheel, it solidified Rockstar's commitment to storytelling and world building, proving that their worlds could live and breathe beyond the mainline releases. For fans, it was a nostalgic return with fresh energy. Liberty City Stories showed that Liberty City had many stories to tell, and Rockstar was just getting started. In 2006, Rockstar stepped outside the crime world with Bully, a game that swapped guns for schoolyard antics, but kept the same rebellious spirit. Set in the fictional Bulworth Academy, Bully put players in the shoes of Jimmy Hopkins, a mischievous teenager navigating the ups and downs of boarding school life. Unlike Rockstar's usual urban chaos, this game focused on a different kind of playground, classrooms, hallways, and cliques. You could attend classes, pull pranks, fight bullies, and even romance other students. It was a fresh take on open-world gameplay, mixing humor, heart, and teenage rebellion. What made Bully stand out was its charm. It captured the awkwardness and energy of adolescence with wit and style, while still delivering Rockstar's signature edgy humor. The soundtrack, voice acting, and vibrant world made the school feel alive, though it didn't involve gang wars or carjackings. Bully proved Rockstar's versatility. It was a game about growing up, fitting in, and standing out, all with a little bit of trouble on the side. In 2006, Rockstar took players back to the neon-lit streets of Vice City with Vice City Stories, a prequel set 2 years before the events of Vice City. This time, you stepped into the shoes of Victor Vance, a soldier-turned-criminal trying to build his own empire. Vice City Stories expanded on everything fans loved: bigger maps, more vehicles, and new missions, while deepening the story of Vice City's seedy underbelly. It had the same vibrant 1980s atmosphere, complete with killer soundtracks, flashy cars, and plenty of chaos. What set it apart was the focus on the rise to power. Victor's journey wasn't just about crime, it was about survival and ambition in a world filled with betrayal, danger, and opportunity. The game introduced new gameplay elements, including base building and managing your own criminal enterprises. Though it started on PSP, Vice City Stories made its way to consoles, proving that Rockstar's portable adventures could pack a serious punch. It reminded players why Vice City's streets are unforgettable. In 2003, Rockstar took a bold and brutal turn with Manhunt, one of the most controversial games ever made. Forget flashy cars and big cities. This was raw, violent, and deeply psychological. You played as James Earl Cash, a death row inmate forced to participate in a twisted, underground snuff film run by a sadistic director. Set in the dark, decaying city of Carcer, the game was all about stealth, fear, and survival. With only your wits and whatever weapon you could find, you had to creep through shadows, silently take down enemies, and follow the director's disturbing orders. The executions were graphic and intense, pushing boundaries like never before. But Manhunt wasn't mindless violence. It was a gritty commentary on media, voyeurism, and society's obsession with brutality. The atmosphere was suffocating. The audio design, haunting. Every moment felt like a fight for your sanity as much as your life. Critics were divided. Governments were outraged, but Rockstar stood firm. Manhunt proved they weren't afraid to tell dark, daring stories, and it left a mark that's still talked about today. In 2008, Rockstar brought GTA into the HD era with Grand Theft Auto 4, a gritty, emotional, and cinematic reinvention of the franchise. You played as Niko Bellic, an Eastern European immigrant chasing the American dream in a beautifully reimagined Liberty City. But dreams fade fast when you're dragged into a world of crime, betrayal, and broken promises. GTA 4 was a dramatic shift, less outrageous, more grounded. The story was deeper, the characters more human, and the city more alive than ever before. Liberty City felt like a real, breathing place, with rain-slicked streets, late-night diners, and a skyline that made you stop and stare. The physics engine, Euphoria, changed everything. Shootouts felt heavier. Car crashes looked brutal. Every movement had weight. And then there was the internet cafes, dating apps, comedy clubs, even a working in-game internet. It was Rockstar flexing every creative muscle. But at its core, GTA 4 was a tragedy. Niko's journey was personal, painful, and unforgettable. Rockstar proved they could still deliver chaos, but now with soul, depth, and a haunting message about the cost of chasing something that may never exist. In 2008, Rockstar hit the streets with Midnight Club, Los Angeles, a sleek, high-octane racer that brought real-world vibes and raw speed to the forefront. Forget simulations, this was about style, speed, and street credibility. Set in a sprawling, detailed recreation of Los Angeles, the game gave players a vibrant city to tear through at breakneck pace. You weren't just racing, you were building your rep. Customize your car from top to tires, throw on decals, drop the suspension, and make it your own. Whether you rolled in a tuner, muscle car, exotic, or superbike, Midnight Club, LA made sure you looked good while burning rubber. What made it stand out was the sense of freedom. No menus, no loading screens, just pure open-world driving, with races starting right on the street. Cops chased you, traffic challenged you. The vibe was pure underground. With killer visuals, dynamic day-night cycles, and a thumping soundtrack, Midnight Club, Los Angeles proved Rockstar didn't need guns to deliver adrenaline. Just engines, attitude, and an open road. In 2009, Rockstar took a bold step back, while still pushing forward, with Grand Theft Auto: Chinatown Wars. Designed first for the Nintendo DS, this entry reimagined the GTA formula with a unique visual style, top-down camera, and fast-paced handheld gameplay. But don't let the cartoonish look fool you. This was one of the grittiest stories in the series. You played as Huang Li, a spoiled triad heir dragged into a bloody power struggle after his father's murder. What followed was a sharp, satirical, and action-packed dive into Liberty City's Chinatown underworld, with drug deals, ambushes, and non-stop double-crosses. What made Chinatown Wars special was how perfectly it adapted GTA's chaos for portable play. From touchscreen minigames like hot-wiring cars to a full-blown drug trade economy system, it offered gameplay depth rarely seen on handhelds. And it never held back. It was violent, witty, and unapologetically Rockstar. With its cel-shaded art, punchy writing, and smooth gameplay, Chinatown Wars proved that big stories could come in small packages, and that Rockstar could dominate any platform, anytime. In 2010, Rockstar rode into uncharted territory with Red Dead Redemption, a sweeping western epic that traded urban chaos for dust, horses, and the dying days of the Wild West. You played as John Marston, a former outlaw forced to hunt down his old gang in a world where the frontier was fading and civilization was closing in. Red Dead Redemption wasn't just a game, it was an experience. From the haunting cry of coyotes at night to the quiet beauty of riding into a sunset, every inch of its open world oozed atmosphere. The narrative was rich, emotional, and deeply human. Marston wasn't chasing money or power, he was chasing peace, redemption, and a second chance. The gameplay was as immersive as the story. Gunfights felt intense, duels were cinematic, and the world was alive with wildlife, strangers, and dynamic events. And who could forget crossing into Mexico with Far Away playing, a moment etched into gaming history. With Red Dead Redemption, Rockstar didn't just prove they could do westerns, they redefined what a video game story could be. In 2011, Rockstar flipped the script with Noire, a detective drama set in the seedy glamour of 1940s Los Angeles. Gone were the gangsters and getaway cars. This time, you were on the other side of the law, stepping into the polished shoes of Cole Phelps, a war hero turned LAPD officer on a quest for justice in a city full of lies. What truly set Noire apart was its groundbreaking facial animation technology. Every raised eyebrow, nervous twitch, or subtle smirk mattered. Interrogations weren't just about the evidence, they were about reading people. And if you read wrong, the consequences followed. The game blended classic noir storytelling with open-world gameplay, covering real-life inspired cases across traffic, homicide, and vice desks. From grisly murder scenes to Hollywood scandals, Noire immersed players in a world of post-war corruption and moral gray zones. This wasn't about shootouts or chaos. It was about truth, perception, and the cost of doing what's right in a world that's anything but. With Noire, Rockstar proved they could do more than mayhem, they could do mystery. In 2012, Rockstar revived a legend with Max Payne 3, a gritty, cinematic shooter that took the series in a bold new direction. Max was older, broken, and drowning in painkillers and whiskey. Gone were the snowy streets of New York. Now, he was in the scorching heat of Sao Paulo, working private security and spiraling deeper into chaos. Max Payne 3 was all about style and substance. The gunplay was smooth, brutal, and beautifully choreographed. Bullet time made every firefight feel like a movie scene, diving through the air in slow motion, shell casings spinning, enemies dropping in a flash of muzzle fire. But this wasn't just action for action's sake. Max's story was raw, personal, and tragic. He was a man haunted by the past, surrounded by corruption, and searching for a reason to keep going. Rockstar's cinematic direction, seamless cutscenes, and gritty voiceover narration gave the game a dark, immersive edge. With Max Payne 3, Rockstar delivered one of the slickest, most emotionally charged shooters of the decade, a violent, stylish descent into one man's tortured soul. In 2013, Rockstar didn't just release a game, they dropped a cultural earthquake. Grand Theft Auto V took everything we loved about open-world chaos and cranked it to the absolute max. Set in the massive, sprawling state of San Andreas, centered on the vibrant city of Los Santos, GTA V was bold, beautiful, and unapologetically wild. For the first time ever, we weren't just following one character, we followed three. Michael, the retired criminal with a midlife crisis. Franklin, the ambitious hustler looking for a way out. And Trevor, well, Trevor was pure chaos wrapped in a tank top. Each character had their own story, skills, and lifestyle, and switching between them on the fly created a seamless, cinematic experience that felt revolutionary. The game world was alive. From sunlit freeways and dusty deserts to deep oceans and sky-high mountains, GTA V's attention to detail was unmatched. You could rob a store, race through the streets, invest in the stock market, or just sit back and watch the madness unfold. Every corner was packed with activity, Easter eggs, and the unpredictable. But the real game changer? GTA Online. What started as a simple multiplayer mode quickly exploded into a full-blown digital universe. Businesses, heists, roleplay servers, nightclub empires, flying cars, GTA Online became a phenomenon that redefined online gaming for years to come. Even a decade later, GTA 5 is still one of the most played, most streamed, and most celebrated titles of all time. It's crossed 3 console generations, sold over 185 million copies, and it's still going strong. This wasn't just a game. It was, and still is, a world. A place where players can live out their wildest dreams, their worst instincts, or just cruise through the city with the radio on. GTA 5 didn't just raise the bar, it became the bar. In 2018, Rockstar redefined storytelling in open-world gaming with Red Dead Redemption 2, an epic prequel that plunged players deep into the fading Wild West. You stepped into the boots of Arthur Morgan, a loyal outlaw and senior member of the Van der Linde gang, struggling to survive in a world that's fast leaving the age of gunslingers behind. What sets Red Dead Redemption 2 apart is its breathtaking attention to detail. From the rustling of leaves in the wind to the crackling campfires and dynamic weather, every moment is immersive and alive. The world feels organic, wildlife reacts realistically, townsfolk go about their days, and your choices ripple through the story and the environment. Arthur isn't just a character. He's a fully realized man torn between loyalty to his family of outlaws and his own moral compass. The narrative is deep, emotional, and layered with themes of redemption, betrayal, and survival. The voice acting, writing, and cinematic presentation elevate the game to an art form. Gameplay blends tense shootouts, stealth, exploration, and even mundane tasks like hunting, fishing, and horseback riding, all executed with a level of polish and realism rarely seen in games. The honor system adds moral complexity, affecting how the world and characters respond to you. And then there's Red Dead Online, expanding the experience with multiplayer modes, cooperative missions, and a living, evolving frontier for players to explore together. Red Dead Redemption 2 isn't just a game, it's an unforgettable journey into a world where every sunset feels like the end of an era. Rockstar once again proved they are masters of creating worlds that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. In 2021, Rockstar brought back 3 of its most iconic classics with Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. This collection reintroduced players to GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, 3 games that didn't just define the Grand Theft Auto series, but helped shape modern open-world gaming as we know it. On paper, it was a dream. Revisit Liberty City with Claude in GTA 3, the game that redefined open-world storytelling. Step into the neon-soaked streets of Vice City with Tommy Vercetti, dripping in 80s flair and criminal ambition. Then head back to the streets of San Andreas with CJ, in a saga of family, betrayal, and survival set across a massive state. Each game was updated with improved lighting, textures, controls, and quality-of-life changes. A modern control scheme, mission restarts, GPS navigation, all designed to make these classics feel smoother on modern hardware. Visually, the games received a cartoonish overhaul, with mixed results. But let's be honest, the Definitive Edition didn't launch as smoothly as fans had hoped. Technical issues, odd character models, missing music, and bugs sparked criticism. For many, the nostalgia was strong, but so was the disappointment. Rockstar eventually rolled out patches and updates to fix many of the problems, but the initial reception was a reminder that remastering Legends comes with huge expectations. Still, despite the flaws, the heart of each classic remained intact. The unforgettable mission, the iconic soundtracks, the groundbreaking worlds that once set the standard for open-world games. Whether you were new to the trilogy or revisiting your childhood chaos, it was a chance to walk the streets of GTA history all over again. GTA, the trilogy, the Definitive Edition may not have been perfect, but it was a bold reminder of how Rockstar changed the game 3 times over. After more than a decade of anticipation, Rockstar has finally revealed what fans have been dreaming of: Grand Theft Auto 6, set to launch in 2025. The next chapter in one of gaming's most iconic franchises is shaping up to be Rockstar's most ambitious project yet, and the hype? Absolutely massive. Set in the fictional state of Leonida, a modern-day reimagining of Florida, GTA 6 takes us back to Vice City. But this isn't the neon-lit nostalgia trip you remember. This is a living, breathing open world, built from the ground up for next-gen consoles. From the crowded beaches to the neon-lit streets, the swamps, suburbs, and highways, it all feels more alive, reactive, and detailed than anything Rockstar has ever created. For the first time in the series, the story will follow 2 main protagonists, Jason and Lucia, in what appears to be a Bonnie and Clyde-style criminal saga. The trailer teased explosive robberies, high-speed chases, and an intense, character-driven narrative that blends chaos with emotion, action with drama. Technologically, GTA 6 looks stunning. Realistic physics, dense crowds, improved AI, and jaw-dropping visuals suggest this will push the boundaries of open-world design. Leaks have also hinted at dynamic events, a social media system in-game, game, and even a map that evolves over time, showing just how far Rockstar is willing to go to immerse players in a world that feels real. And let's not forget the cultural impact. GTA 6 is already being called the most anticipated game in history, and it's not even out yet. The first trailer broke records, racking up over 100 million views in days, igniting fan theories and speculation across the globe. Whether you're a veteran of Liberty City or a newcomer to Vice City, GTA 6 promises to be more than just a game. It's set to be a global event, one that will define a new generation of open-world storytelling and once again remind the world why Rockstar Games sits at the very top.